What do you say? Today it's a good day for Soggy Sunday side notes. So I had some rain showers come through earlier. Now I'd say that's a blowout. What do you think, guys? You think she'll hold any air? So anyway, I'm looking around, looking things over and seeing what's what with different things. And remember I said the transmission on TT3 here was full of water. And also the fuel tank here was full of water. And you can see why. And it's pretty much shot. So now the sun's bright and shiny. I can hardly see anything. This is the reason eight years in storage. This is the result. So what I'll do with this is, this will become a dummy tank. You already know I'm working on the Holly carburetor on this. So that's going good. But I've got a different fuel tank in mind for this. And I'll take you over here and show you a few pieces that I've got together. Squeeze on through here. So a guy down the street gave me this old oil drum. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that into the new fuel tank within the truck 3. And so it's got a cap right here. But I'm not just going to use that. I need to try and set up some kind of deal that comes out and up a little bit. And also with a cap that has a breather on it. You know, for expansion and fuel flow, right? So I'll rig something up there, and then down here, which is in the perfect position. Can't even see it on camera. I think you guys can see it. But I'll set up the fuel tap down there because it's perfectly at 6 o'clock. And what I'll do is just run it straight in there. And then that'll leave a nice little section. Oh, there it is. I gotta have the sun. That'll leave a nice little section underneath the fuel tap for like any debris or anything like that that gets in there. It'll drop down below the fuel tap. So that'll come out, and the fuel line will connect to that. And then for mounts, So I'm gonna mount it across the frame above that deck plate. And then for the mounts, oops, I'm just gonna use some old lumber. And I'm just gonna trim these up, get them all nice and square, paint them up. Now this is pretty strong lumber. This will hold it no problem. So what I'll do is I'll set the drum on there and then just draw a line around it. You know what I'm saying, right? So that it has a, what would you call that? Valley, maybe? A valley to sit in? So I might start with that this afternoon. I'll start with the ends, get them nice and square, cut off these rotten ends here, and get to a nice clean section. And then of course I'll do some sanding on them, and that should look pretty good, I think. And this old mud flap here will be used to go between the lumber and the tank. So you could probably just put the lumber right under there, but hell, I got that mud flap there. I might as well make it look professional, right? Alright, so that'll be very good for that. Yeah, on showery days like this, I don't like to, because I don't really have any shelter to work under. So I don't like to get started on something, and basically get going on something and a shower comes through, and it basically kind of is a major interruption. So I'd rather be a little bit patient. But I moved Thunder Truck 1 over to here. So you know the story with her. So, and I also took off the rain cover. You can see that's off there now. Because the cover was held on by straps that came down and around the frame. So I wanted to get her ready to raise the cab. So that'll be the next step on her. Thunder Truck 1. Get the cab raised up and start cleaning on that engine. It's going to be very good. It's amazing how much of this kind of work is cleaning. You clean your parts, you take parts off and you clean them again. And, I mean, even body work, a lot of it's cleaning. When you're sanding, you're cleaning. And my wheel situation is all good now, so I'm very happy with that. Very happy with the wheel situation. I'm not sure I like this though. This little red stripe right here, I think I might just fill that in solid white. Leave a comment, let me know what you think about that. Would that look better white? Solid white right there, but I'll leave this mount here. I'll leave that red. It's just this little stripe here. I think I'll just fill that in white. I think that might kind of blend better. Okay. And then the other little side note is I polished up the exhaust on the Dragon. It came up beautiful. Look at that. All the way along. So she's starting to look really good again now. Good looking Dragon. But I still got to do the rest of the plastics. So when I do the plastics, I'll put that in a side note. Also, and you guys can check that out. Okay, so I'm not sure what the weather is doing tomorrow. It's kind of iffy right now, like an on and off kind of deal. Could shower, might not shower. But I can definitely start on that lumber for the fuel tank mounts. So that's not that intricate that I can't just like put that down between showers, you know. But with something like this, you know, I wouldn't want to raise the cab up and then it starts raining and then you know, it just tick me off. You know what I mean? So I'll wait for a good day. And then, of course, when I get the cab up, I'll bring you back and show you the engine when it's all dirty. And then bring you back again after that, show you when it's looking clean like it should be. Gosh, I'm looking forward to that. Okay, guys, that's your update on a soggy Sunday. So I'll catch you later.